Good morning, everyone. Nice to have you here. Let's start a productive drawing day together. But first, coffee. Can you see this? I burned my head with the coal iron lately and it really hurts. I don't know if it's just me, but this happened to me the third time already. Not a pleasant experience. Before I can start my workday, I usually have to take care of some daily household tasks. While it may seem like a small thing, taking care of these first actually helps me feel more organized. I made a new drawing yesterday and I printed it on glossy paper because I wanted something springy on my working station here, working desk. Also, I bought me some flowers because the weather outside is everything but spring. Okay, for today I'll do a commission for a girl, a character design for her Twitch avatar, which also is a little bit animated. The character, she can blink and speak, and I've never done that before, but it sounds interesting and I'm sure I can do that. I never understood all these Twitch stuff. Maybe I'm too old. I hope not, but I never used it. Can you explain it to me, maybe in the comments, why everyone is using Twitch, and shall I use it too? To start my workday focused, I always write a daily to-do list. I used to use Notion for this, like I do for almost everything, but I found that writing a physical note is more effective for me. By the way, I designed this planner myself. Do you like it? After my to-do list, I like to take a few minutes to respond to all your lovely social media messages and comments. It's such a motivating way to start a day with these lovely words and your big support. I move on to checking my email inbox and I make sure that I respond to any important messages. But now, let's finally start painting. Unfortunately, I already prepared a sketch for this session last week, but Procreate automatically recorded the process for me, so I can at least show you that sketch recording. As you see, I always started very roughly and I do a more clean sketch with every step. The peak of the sketching process is creating a clean line art, and that's what I do here. I just lower the opacity of the sketch and kinda trace it with my line art brush. By the way, all brushes I use are my own custom brushes, and if you're interested in supporting me, I link them in the description for you. Doing the line art can be very time consuming, and that's also the reason why I only do that for commissioned pieces. When I draw for myself, I just clean the rough sketch a little and quickly start adding colors and details, without worrying too much about precision. The girl is supposed to have super long lashes, so here we go. I recommend to always flip the canvas for getting a fresh and new view on your drawing. That way you can see what looks off and then you can correct it with the selection and the liquify tool. Look who decently wants to remind me that they have to pee. So let's take a break and go out for a walk with Finja. Oh my god, er ist gebrochen. Zwei Nussschnecken bitte. Yep, in Germany dogs are not allowed in bakeries. I got very hungry, so let's head back home. Today I'll have tuna noodles from the day before, and to make them look a little tastier, I add a bit fresh topping and some balsamic cream. Not me spying on other YouTube channels while having lunch. I successfully defended my pastries from Finja. Okay, but enough snacks for now. Let's head back to our drawing. Time for colors, but before we had to lower the opacity of the Lineart layer, and I like to set it to multiply as well. I prefer to paint every color block on an extra layer, and the brush I use for that is just a solid round. The shirt is supposed to be just grey, but I use a bluish undertone to complement the skin color. I love flowy hair, especially dark brown hair. Maybe that has something to do with my own hair. Sure, I mentioned it in another video before, but I really like the way how dark eyebrows can help to shape the face. Of course, this is my own taste and it does not fit every time. For the lips, I always tend to choose a color close to the skin color, but more saturated and a little bit more reddish. For adding shadows and for rendering, I usually use a photo reference from Pinterest or any stock photo. But this time I had none, so that's why I had to render a lot by trial and error. Like, you know, a little challenge for myself. But I don't recommend it, especially not for beginners. I really advise you to always use real reference photos. Slowly adding darker shadows. See, lots of do and undo here, but that's kinda my workflow. Almost forgot to mention the brushes I use for rendering. Actually, I use more of them. The Fjordwind Render for bulkier stuff, and for the same reason sometimes also the round rubber, which I mainly intended for erasing. However, it also works great for precise rendering. For details, I use the Fjordwind Sharp. Here you see me adding rosy cheeks with the mushy brush. Okay, more of the trial and error, but we're almost done with the skin. Now let's make the lips look less flat and more glossy. Some highlights and shadows for the eyes as well. Finja is allowed to sleep on the couch, but she always prefers to sleep close to me. Changing the colors of some parts of the Lineart layer here. Okay, but now one of my favorite parts, rendering the hair. Are you guys interested in a video only about how I draw and render hair? Because then let me know in the comments. Look, we've been drawing for so long, just yet the candle turned empty. Adding individual strands of hair here and there makes the hair look like it's made out of individual hairs, even though you don't have to draw them all. Are you still watching? Thank you so much for your interest. I'm still new to YouTube and trying my best to find out what you guys enjoy watching the most. Adding highlights to the hair in an extra layer set on the mode Add. On the end of this video, I will show you the little blinking and speaking animation of this girl, so keep watching. Sometimes a little gradient to the hair can do wonders, but it is not always fitting. Testing different color variations can also lead to a tiny bit better result than your initial color choices. My least favorite part, rendering the clothing. For me it's the most difficult part in a character drawing. I mean, not all clothes are difficult, but I noticed the most simple t-shirt folds are the most complicated. In the end, you will see me adding a structure to the t-shirt, and the blinking of colors is me testing different layer modes for that. Okay, it's done! And like always, I doubted my drawing skills midways, but I have to say I'm really pleased how she turned out, and I hope you guys like her too and enjoyed seeing the process. Oh, and if you want to learn to draw like this too, then check my other videos and consider to subscribe so you won't miss any new stuff.